Welcome to our channel, Film City. Today I will explain Tenet movie. If you like the video, please like and subscribe the channel. Without delaying anymore, let's start the video. A CIA agent, the protagonist, participates in an extraction operation at a Kiev opera house. A masked soldier wearing a red trinket saves his life by unfiring a bullet through a gunman. After seizing an artifact, the protagonist is captured by mercenaries. He is tortured before consuming what he believes to be a suicide pill. He awakens to learn the suicide pill was a test of loyalty and that the artifact was lost. The protagonist is recruited by an organization called TENET. A scientist briefs him on bullets with inverted entropy, meaning they move backward through time. She believes they are manufactured in the future, and other inverted objects seem to be remnants of a war in the future. The protagonist meets his handler, Neil, through a CIA contact, and they trace the inverted bullets to arms dealer Priya Singh in Mumbai. They learn that Priya is a member of TENET, and her cartridges were purchased and inverted by Russian oligarch Andrei Sater. In London, the protagonist approaches Sater's estranged wife Kat, an art appraiser who falsely authenticated a forged Goya drawing. She tells him that Sater purchased the drawing from the forger, a repo, and is using Kat's authentication as blackmail to control her in their relationship. The protagonist and Neil plot to steal the drawing from a Freeport storage facility at the Oslo airport. There they fend off two masked men who seemingly emerge from a strange device. Afterward, Priya explains that the device is a turnstile, a machine that can invert the entropy of objects and people, and that the masked men were the same person traveling in opposite directions through time. On the Amalfi Coast, Italy, Kat introduces the protagonist to Sater and learns the drawing is intact. Sater plans to kill the protagonist, but the protagonist saves Sater's life after Kat attempts to drown him. Sater and the protagonist strike a partnership to retrieve a case that supposedly contains plutonium-241. In Tallinn, the protagonist and Neil ambush a convoy and steal the case, which actually contains the artifact lost in Kiev. They are ambushed by an inverted Sater holding Kat hostage. The protagonist gives an empty case to Sater, who retreats after receiving it. The protagonist rescues Kat, but is soon captured and taken to a warehouse with a turnstile. In the warehouse, the inverted Sater shoots Kat with an inverted round, while the non-inverted Sater demands the location of the artifact. TENET operatives led by Ives arrive and rescue the protagonist, while Sater escapes into the turnstile. The group takes Kat through the turnstile to aid healing her inverted wound. The now inverted protagonist travels back in time to the ambush site, where he attempts to retrieve the artifact, but is intercepted by Sater. The protagonist's car is overturned and catches fire, but Neil saves him and reveals he is a member of TENET. The protagonist, Neil, and Kat travel back in time to the Freeport in Oslo. The protagonist fights his past self, enters the turnstile, and reverts, followed by Neil and Kat. Later, Priya explains that Sater is collecting the artifacts to assemble an algorithm which is capable of catastrophically inverting the entropy of the Earth. Kat reveals Sater is dying from pancreatic cancer. They learn that Sater is using a dead man switch to trigger the algorithm. Kat believes Sater will travel back in time to commit suicide during their vacation in Vietnam, so that the world will die with him at the last moment he was happy. The protagonist, Neil, Kat, and TENET troops travel back in time to that day, where Kat disguises herself as her past self to keep Sater alive long enough for TENET to secure the algorithm. TENET tracks the algorithm to Sater's hometown in northern Siberia, where it is heavily guarded. They launch a temporal pincer movement, with non-inverted red team troops and inverted blue team troops making a simultaneous assault. Sater reveals people in the future want him to trigger the algorithm in the hopes of reversing the effects of climate change. An inverted blue team soldier wearing a red trinket sacrifices himself to save the protagonist and Ives as they attempt to secure the algorithm. Meanwhile, in Vietnam, Kat kills Sater just as the protagonist secures the algorithm. The protagonist, Neil, and Ives break up the algorithm and part ways. The protagonist notices that Neil is wearing the red trinket. Neil reveals he was recruited by the protagonist and Neil's past in this mission is, from his perspective, the end of a long friendship. Since Kat knows too much, Priya attempts to have her assassinated, but Priya is killed by the protagonist, who has concluded that he is the mastermind behind Tenet.